Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Ms. Dyah Supraba Lastari as a lecturer in language assessment course. So we will like to do our final test presentation. The topic we will discuss today is about grammar and vocabulary. Well, hello everyone. We are from group 5. Okay, first let me introduce my team. My name is Haliza Tri Yudhawati, and I will be the moderator today, and I will guide the course of this presentation. And there my partner is Rizka, Salsabiila, Syahan, and Audia Triana. Right to the delivery session, and the first material presentation will be read by Rizka Salsabiila.
So the first is the purpose of the test. There are five types of purpose of the test. The first is placement test. Before we start, grammar and vocabulary tests serve various purpose in language education and assessment. Each type of test has its own specific goals and applications. And here's an overview on the purpose of different grammar and vocabulary tests. The first is placement test. The purpose of placement test is to assess a learner's current language proficiency level and determine the most suitable class or course for them. The second one is proficiency test. The purpose is to measure a learner's overall language proficiency in terms of grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. The third is achievement test. The purpose is to evaluate what a learner has achieved or learned in a specific course or period. And the fourth is diagnostic test. The purpose is to identify specific areas of strength and weakness in a learner's language skill. And the last one is language aptitude test. The purpose is to measure an individual's natural ability or aptitude for learning language.
Okay, next is grammar and vocabulary. The first is measure grammar skills. Grammar tests and to test the proper understanding and use of grammar related to a language. It includes an understanding of sentence structure, verbs, tenses, verb forms, subject predicates, article use, pronouns, and so on. This test helps identify a person's strength and weakness in terms of grammar. The second is assess vocabulary richness. Vocabulary test a person's understanding and use of vocabulary. It involves an understanding of the meaning of words, synonyms, antonyms, and use of idioms, common phrases, and idiomatic expression. This test helps measure the extent to which a person has an extensive vocabulary and is able to use words appropriately in different contexts. Okay, the third is improve communication skills. Grammar and vocabulary test helps improve one's communication skills in a language. By understanding grammar and having a rich vocabulary, one can construct correct and meaningful sentences as well as express truth and ideas more clearly and effectively. Okay, the last is assess the level of language proficiency. This test is also used to assess a person's level of language proficiency, both for educational and professional purposes. The result of grammar and vocabulary tests can give an idea of a person's level of ability to communicate in writing and orally. The next.
All right. Next is the objective of the test. The first is student can understand and follow simple instruction, such as teacher instruction in giving assignment. The second one is student can identify important details in grammar and vocabulary in the question given. And then students can capture the essence of learning from grammar and vocab tests. And students can evaluate opinions given by the teacher. And the last one is students can understand and follow the instruction given through learning grammar and vocabulary tasks.
All right, the next is test specification. So now there is remind student about the grammar and vocab material last week, and then evaluate the student writing ability to understand and follow simple oral instruction given for assessment, and then assess student understanding of basic grammar and vocab in the text sheet with multiple choice, and then measure student writing ability to identify various grammar and vocab in a writing task. And the last is test student comparison of grammar and vocab with the task sheet. Next.
And the next is text task. So the first one, the teacher explains the previous materials again. And second is students work on grammar and vocab questions. And the last is proofread together.
All right, so there are scoring, grading, and feedback. So in this rubric, as you can see, there are two indicators: accuracy and content. So in accuracy indicator, there are grammar, vocabulary, and spelling. So for each aspect, so for grammar, it's get 20 score, and then vocabulary get 20 score, and then spelling get 15 score. So for the grade is average 16 and into 20, and 10 to 15, and then for spelling is 11 to 15 and 16 to 10, and then it's less 5. So for the grammar, if the feedback is proper grammar is inaccurate but does not affect the meaning, and grammar is inaccurate affect meaning. And then for vocabulary, correct vocabulary choice, the choice of vocabulary is inappropriate but does not affect the meaning, and the choice of vocabulary is inappropriate and affect the meaning. So for the spelling, the writing is generally correct. The writing is inaccurate but does not affect the meaning, and the writing is incorrect and affect the meaning. Also, in the content indicator, there are coherency or unity and content. So for the coherency, get score 15, and for content is 13. So for the grade they are 11 to 5. 11, it's average 11 to 15, and less 6 to 10, and less 5. And for the content, they are average grade from 20 to 13, and then 11 to 20, and less 10. So it's great for express meaning clearly, expresses meaning but is less clear, and expressing meaning unclearly and losing meaning. All right. Okay, next.
Okay, so the delivery presentation session of material has been complete. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.